Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable. Minutes on the score. Every time they wanna clash, the win is kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of start, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
It's a Friday night, which means it's a British Basketball League doubleheader. The first game tonight sees two teams trying to get their first win of the season. And it's been a less than perfect start for the Plymouth City Patriots and the Manchester Giants. Hoping to bring you some winning joy is Dan Routledge alongside Ant Rowe.
Thanks, Jeanette. Yes, welcome to the Plymouth Pavilions. I'm sat next to a man who spent many a time both in the bleachers and on the court there for the Plymouth side over the years. And it's great to be back at the Pavilions.
It is indeed. I have great memories both on and off the court from a young boy watching the Plymouth Faithfuls play basketball, now still going strong in the league. Exciting fixture here today.
Well, one of these two teams will get their first win of the season. Let's take a look at the starting fives. And Mason Faulkner didn't play the first game, but he's been key for them since he's returned.
He has, big 20 points for him against the Leicester Riders last game. But Johnson, look for him as well to keep pouring on the points. He had a stellar season last year in the NBL Division 1, and he's looking to carry on that form this year.
At the other end of the floor, the Manchester Giants have really been led by the guys who played in the British Basketball League before, particularly Anderson and Evan Walsh.
Well, consistency is key, and they have been the most consistent producing players so far at Anderson and Walsh. Look for those guys to keep, embracing the load that they've got offensively.
Well, let's take a look at one or two of the key players in this game. Mason Faulkner, we said that first game, Plymouth looked a little bit disjointed. He came in, he's a guy who plays with a lot of confidence.
Well, this is a rookie from Kentucky. He's only played one professional game, but boy, was it a big one. 20 points off 7 for 12 shooting. He had 5 assists to go along with that. He's a type of player that's high energy, athletic, and fearless. A type of player who can lead from the front, and Plymouth City Patriots are going to need a guy like him.
I think the fans are really going to enjoy watching him, and we all enjoy watching Jamel Anderson, a former teammate of yours, of course.
He's the ultimate professional, and he's one of the most successful British players that we've had. 8 titles, including a gold Commonwealth at the 3x3 basketball. Former Leicester Riders, 33 years old, like a fine wine.
Well, we will have tip-off right after this break.
You put the work in, everyone knows you deserve it. There must be blind like curtains, certain anything you got, you've earned it. Sky the limit, you're so high, it's achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable. Every time they wanna clash, I am unbeatable. Chances running out of start, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable, I am unbeatable. Clock's turn, watch and learn. How many years been working for my Stay on your feet, never been put on a poster. Nah, do a step like roller coaster. This one right here for the coast.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places that never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when a ball drops. My man.
We are basketball.
Team is everything.
We fight till the final moment.
Slow in the corner for the win. Oh! Can you believe it?
These are new beginnings. Time to raise the standard.
Be better than the best.
McKenzie. Oh, beautiful.
10 teams, 1 goal.
Become the champion.
You know, and it's playoff champions. Let's see this in 2 decades.
We are basketball.
We are basketball.
We are basketball.
We are British basketball.
Welcome back to the pavilions where we're about ready to get underway. 3 teams on court, of course. Gavin Williams, Ian Spearman and Alex Beltner, the 3 officials for tonight's game. And every team at the start of the season wants to get that first win on the board. One of these 2 will here tonight. Which one do you think it'll be?
Well, look, it's really early in the season to start, predicting who's going to come where. Both teams 0-2. Obviously, the top 8 only qualify for the playoffs. I think this could be a 4-point game in that. Both teams are going to need to get off the mark here. The first one is huge for the confidence and all future, team DNA going forward. This is a big one.
Well, the pavilions is never an easy place to come and play. I think they'll enjoy watching their number 9 this season. I think he will soon become a fan favorite with the Patriots' support. And obviously, Manchester Giants have been without William Lee. That's a big hole in their lineup.
It's huge, and that's the thing that Manchester Giants have got. If they can find a nucleus and chemistry here with the addition of William Lee, that could be a ferocious monster.
Well, the 2 teams out on court, and we are ready to go here. The first game of the season at the pavilions sees the Patriots taking on the Manchester Giants. It'll be Wiley and Lawton to jump it up, and we are underway. It's a double tap, but Manchester come up with the first possession of the game, but they throw it straight away, and Johnson, well, he had an easy layup himself, and he took the assist instead.
There is a bizarre play on a number of reasons there. The throwaway from the Giants, and then, as you say, Dan, it was an open layup, and he unselfishly decided to pass the basketball to his teammate who converts. Wow.
Well, we have got a small issue with our clock, which is why we've got the game clock down there. We'll keep you on top of things as we go through, but apologies for that as the foul is called.
Good work there from Nick Stampley to snag the offensive rebound. I think Manchester Giants, now they've been 2 games in, they're going to need more production for their import players. Nick Stampley is one of those guys that they're going to look forward to shoulder a little bit more of that responsibility, and a positive start for him.
Well, Stampley only averaging 6 points a game. McNeil 5.5, 4.5 for Lawton. Boyce has only played the 1 game, but 6 points in that. They do need a little bit more from the other guys. It's great that they've had the likes of Anderson and Walsh and Robertson coming off the bench playing really well, but they need a bit more from their import players.
I agree, and well, time will tell. Again, it's so early in the season, but Coach Brian Simeone would want those players to reach that mark sooner rather than later, so his team can start stringing some wins together.
Here's Johnson for the Patriots. Over to LVC Dusha, returning once again in a Plymouth jersey. Johnson has space for 3, back iron, but the long rebound will get Plymouth a new 14. His Faulkner steps into a comfortable 3, that one rattles out.
Well, 2 good looks there from Plymouth. You've got Taylor stepping into that 3-point shot, and then Faulkner there off the screen. Don't convert, but so far Plymouth are getting what they want on the perimeter.
Pass a little high there. Anderson is able to pull it in, and the foul goes against Mason Faulkner, that'll be his first.
This will be a really interesting matchup. Jamal Anderson, we know he's a defensive specialist. All British basketball defensive team last year, and his assignment will be Faulkner this evening. Faulkner's played one game, and yet there's been so many people talking about him already. That's how exciting he is. So really interesting to see that matchup, Anderson and Faulkner here this evening.
Into Lawton, little hook shot, he's short. Oh, he's almost tipped into his own basket by Johnson there.
Look like Wiley might have got a piece of that one.
Here he is at the three-point line. Plymouth certainly looking for the three-point shot first so far today. That's come off the foot of Anderson and out of bounds for a Patriots ball.
Oh, a bit of a disjointed start here from both teams, just trying to find their way in the game. Uncharacteristic turnover there from Anderson, who was the first down the floor. It was a good outlet, but perhaps the wrong decision to try and force something.
That's Walsh on Faulkner. This time it switched over to Anderson on the first screen. Kicks it off to Wiley, getting to the rim and laying it in.
That's an excellent cut from Wiley. He saw that his teammate was dribbling the basketball at excessive rate and going nowhere, and that perfectly timed cut gets him a layup.
Lawton, ooh, big contact in the lane, but he is inside the no-charge circle. I think that's deemed to be going up for a shot, which is why the contact is allowed, but there is a foul on the second effort, so it will be 2 free throws.
I like the aggressive nature there of Lawton. Little shove in the back there maybe to get away with it, but he stays aggressive, and as you say, Dan, he knows that he's in the charge circle, so he's got the advantage in using his physicality down low.
Well, a second personal foul on Wiley. Just 2 minutes into the game will send him to the bench. Johnson will check in for him. DeAndre Johnson. So both Johnsons on the court. Always a commentator's nightmare, that.
One of those names for sure, but I think a loss that Wiley's having to exit already and averaging 12 points a game, but he seems to be a player that can do things on both ends of the floor.
Second free throw is a long way short, and Taylor Johnson grabs the rebound. Dusha calling the plays for Plymouth. Oh, room along the baseline. A tricky finish as well from Faulkner as he kisses it in.
Incredible play. The ability there to, after the screen, just to attack the gap. Right at the defense. 3 yellow jerseys around him, but the maneuver and then the strength to be able to finish. Excellent play from Faulkner.
Well, I've obviously only seen him once, but he looked super confident in that first game against Leicester. He is a guy that exudes belief in his own abilities, and why not if you can finish like that?
Well, and that belief was contagious. You know, we watched that Plymouth game. That was a team that believed that they could go to the Morningside Arena and beat the Leicester Riders, and on a different night, had certain shots not dropped for the Riders, you know, Plymouth would have picked up a win there.
Well, I came away from that game thinking they probably should have won. They were a bit unlucky, but Leicester dug it out, and that is all that matters, as DeAndre Johnson's shot is off the mark. Here's Walsh, as ever, in the open court. Dusha, he's very good at that, LVC. It looks like he's out of the play, he's falling back, but he just gets a little swipe down at the ball. And more often than not, he hits ball.
Wow, it's an excellent play there from Dusha. And look, he's not the longest, or he's not the most athletic, so he has to figure out a way. There's a reason why he's been relevant in this league for the best part of a decade.
Of course, broke into the scene as a Surrey player. But in recent years, the Southwest has been his home, and he's been very good for the Patriots. Little step through, another and one opportunity for the Plymouth Patriots. This time Atwood getting to the rim.
Atwood, another guy that can put points on the board. 20 points for him last game, and just using the strength. It was route one, straight to the basket. Didn't really need a lot of tricks in that one, but he's strong finish.
Well, it's fair to say Plymouth that first game did look a little bit disjointed, but one thing you know, when you've got Paul James on the sideline. He knows, he's been around the league, he knows what he's doing. Over 1,100 games coached in British basketball. Oh, this is game number 1,102. Wow. Which is just madness. If they can get 2 wins this weekend, Paul James will be up to 500 league wins. And just to give you some context on that, there's only 4 teams with 500 league wins. That's Leicester, Sheffield, Newcastle, and Cheshire. So he'd be 5th on the team record just as a coach. Wow. Not even including his playing days, as Plymouth have started hot. He'll be enjoying this. Faulkner in the corner.
Well, you said he could be a fan favorite, Dan. I think he's auditioning for that role.
Johnson in transition, and Manchester a bit sloppy here, have found themselves 9 points behind. Plymouth starting to punish them for these mistakes.
Yeah, careless turnover there, and wellly spaced offensive execution there from the Plymouth Patriots, and Elvisi Dusha almost gets another one. And Giants are going to have to tighten things up, and they're going to have to do it quickly, or this game will get out of hand.
The Giants were a bit lucky there, because if Elvisi was able to bat that down court, he'd have chased it for an easy layup. As it was, it went off to the sideline, and Manchester will get the ball with the shot clock holding at 12.
And of course, when you have the early lead too, the fans get involved, and you've got that energy from the get-go, which makes things a little bit more daunting for the traveling team.
Pick and roll is turned over again. That's not the best pass. Faulkner's able to keep it alive and inadvertently finds his teammate Johnson cutting to the basket. He was trying to throw it off the legs of Anderson, but it went right to an assist.
Well, a well-deserved reward there for Johnson, who ran the floor like all guys should do, and he gets the home court bounce for the easy layup.
Well, 4.5 minutes into the opening quarter, and it's been all Plymouth. I mean, the first couple of plays, they missed some threes, and it didn't quite look smooth, but boy, has that turnaround. Faulkner already up to 8 points for them, and it's the points in transition as well, the points from turnovers that have been the issue for Plymouth. They've already got 8 points off turnovers, getting out into the open court like this.
Yeah, and that'll put you on the back foot very, very quickly, and it has already in this game. As you see, look, Plymouth looking after the basketball, 0 turnovers for them, hence why they've got this early healthy lead. But Manchester Giants, you can just tell they've got off the bus and they're not quite focused. These turnovers aren't high pressure full court, making you forced you into it. These are unforced errors, and Giants are going to have to focus here and lock in sooner rather than later, or as I say, this game is going to be gone.
Well, there's no good turnovers, but those are the worst, which is why they've got 8 points. 4 turnovers, Plymouth has scored on every one.
No, and the energy, if this was a battle of energy, and Plymouth would be winning in that too.
Well, as you say, the last thing you want to do when you come here as an away team is give the crowd something to get behind. It is an atmospheric venue, no doubt about it. There's another sloppy turnover, and it's going to be 2 more points. Or is it? They've blown the layup, but they will get the end line ball. Well, he thought he was fouled there, Faulkner. The referee not interested.
It's a great challenge from Lordson, because it's a basket-saving play there. If Faulkner converts there, it looks even more dismal. Coming out of a timeout and turning the ball over automatically is going to be so frustrating for the coach.
Well, Manchester, in their first 2 games, have got off to good starts. They've led by double figures early in their 2 games, but they're behind by 11 here. Well, that is a tough shot from Atwood, and there's nobody in there to rebound.
Poor offense there, lack of movement, very stagnant, and ball stays in the hands of one player who's having to shoot a highly contested jump shot.
Oh, nice cutback door from McNeil, but he's denied by Atwood. Possession stays with Manchester, but a great defensive play from TJ Atwood. It's 17-6 here at the Pavilions. We'll be right back after this break.
working, everyone knows you deserve it. They must be blind like curtains, certain. Anything you got, you've earned it. Sky the limit, it's reachable. Your still high, it's achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable. Every time they wanna clash, I am unbeatable. Chances running out of start, and we're running out of clock. I fail once to the start. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. Clock's turn, watch and learn. How many years been working for my stay on your feet, never been put on a poster. You're a step like roller coaster. This one right here for the culture. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Welcome back to the Pavilions, where Plymouth have got off to a blistering start thanks to that man. 8 points and a couple of assists already for Mason Faulkner on his home debut. He has an index rating of 9. To put that in context, Manchester's combined team index rating is 3. And that is why Plymouth lead by 11. That's well defended in the end, but even better finish there from Lawton.
That's a big play there from Lawton. He's had a couple already. He's contested shots, and that one, nice post move to the middle, nice pump fake to get his defender off the floor, and a nice jump shot.
Dusha calling for Faulkner, who comes to the ball. Shot clock down to 6. Taylor Johnson gets to the elbow, misses everything. Oh, just saved there. Great hustle to keep that alive. That should have been a Manchester ball, really, but they just stood there watching.
Well, just not first to react. Plymouth is winning every 50-50, and they're just sharper to everything. That was a relatively good defensive stance from the Giants initially to contest the shot, force Taylor into a tough one, and again, you got 3 jerseys there just ball watching.
Well, one of them could have grabbed it. They thought it was going to go out of bounds, but Atwood dived and bounced it off the Manchester player, and they actually, because of the air ball, didn't reset the shot clock, so it's a shot clock violation on that. I think they were so surprised to get the ball back, Plymouth, they forgot to look at the clock. Here's Boursier into the game for the first time for Manchester. Manchester turn it over again.
These are little details here. You've got to remain disciplined. As you say, Dan, these ones rack up turnovers even more, and what it does, even more so long-term detriment to you, is it's a momentum killer. And you know, this Giants team is not exactly flourishing on confidence right now. Even the last play, usually you'd celebrate a 24-second shot clock, but instead they're more relieved that they're not giving up any points because of their lack of responsiveness.
Well, pressure here from the Giants, and well, Plymouth for once, the ones coughing the ball up. Boursier, nice pass to Lawton underneath, and he's got an easy layup.
It's a good play there, and Lawton's been very useful there. You just see, just creeping along that baseline, finding space, and another strong finish from him.
Well, here's Joe Hart into the action. You heard the ovation the fans gave him when he returned, having missed all of last season through injury. Great to see him back out on court. He hasn't played in the first couple of games, but again, they missed him last year. His experience as well as his shooting, and well, they just kind of got into a blind alley there, Atwood.
Great defense on the ball there from Stampley, and again, another 24-second shot clock, and Giants seem to be trying to right some of the early wrongs in this game.
Kodo gets beat by Borse, who's ended up in an awkward spot. Knocked away, good hands, and away come the Patriots again with Faulkner. And that's going to be an offensive foul. It's good defensive play.
It was, and Faulkner's done so well to anticipate the pass there and steal the ball, but you could just see he was out of control. He had one thing on his mind, and that was to get to the rim. And Nick Lewis, a man that's got qualifying years of experience in the British Basketball League, gets Faulkner to commit his second foul.
He'll sit down now, having picked up that second foul. And as well as Plymouth have played through the first 7 minutes here, Manchester get a score. It's back to 5. They've got a couple of guys in foul trouble already, the Patriots. It's gone well, but it's not without its precariousness.
Yeah, well, as you say, Dan, the collateral damage is Wiley and Faulkner on 2 fouls each.
Here's Robertson, who's been really good through the first couple of games of the season. Lewis rattles out for 3, and he's a guy. Oh, it's turned over again under the basket, and this time it's McNeil with the lay-in.
Wow, well, we talked about production from the import players, and McNeil's one of those guys that they're going to need more from. It's an excellent steal and put back then from him.
Well, it's like the last couple of minutes, Plymouth have forgotten everything they did in the first 5. Oh, there's another turnover. Suddenly it's Plymouth's turn to keep giving it up and allowing points from turnovers. Lewis with the putback.
Goodness me, it's like complete reverse roles. Plymouth now find themselves on 8, number of turnovers that are getting punished for at the other end of the floor.
Well, that was 8-0 at one point. It's now 8-6 points from turnovers. A much needed basket for Noble for the Patriots.
Noble, another one of the rookies there looking to establish his professional career. So Florida Tech, which is Division II, the NCAA.
Coached by a former BBL Coach of the Year, Billy Mims. Won championships at Leicester and with Leopards. Well, you don't see Robertson putting the ball on the floor from the 3-point line very often like that.
Well, we don't see him do a lot of things. He's had a fantastic start to this season. 10 points, 8 rebounds a game. And look, again, re-emphasizing, we know it's a small sample size, but you can just see the way he's moving, the way he's playing. He's been such an impactful force for this Giants team. And he's one of these anomalies in that he's 7'1", you know, big body. He's got experience, played overseas, America, Europe, and last year he was that sort of 5 points, you know, 3-4 rebounds a game guy.
And 4 fouls.
That was definitely a consistent pattern. And just to pre-warn you, free throws is not one of his strengths, but boy, is he an impactful player down low.
Well, he's been working out with Ryan Richards, the former Surrey and Great Britain player. And that's a line violation from Robertson. Stepped over the line, so it'll be a sideline ball. Just a bit of perspiration needs sorting out on the floor. But yes, you're right. He's been working solidly on his post moves, but perhaps not quite as much on his free throw shooting. And he was only a 58% shooter in his British Basketball League career. Here's Joe Hart driving through, and he's looking at the officials to say, was there a foul in there somewhere? They're not quite sure what they're going to call as to whose possession it is.
Well, you mentioned, Danny, standing ovation for Joe Hart. He's a player with experience, Europe, Spain, Germany. Played for other clubs as well in the British Basketball League, Newcastle, Caledonia. So he's a guy that they're going to look for production also. Out all last year with after a torn ACL knee injury, excuse me.
No good from Akodo, but there's Atwood again, cleaning up and putting it in for 2.
Strong play there from Atwood, and he's a player. You can already tell high on energy, athletic play.
McNeil Down to Robertin. Oh, Anderson wasn't looking. The pass came his way. Patriots in the open floor again. Here's Joe Hart in his favorite spot. Count that for 3, and they love it here at the Pavilions.
That's a big shot, great space in there. Joe Hart went straight to the corner. And that's a big one to extend this lead to 10.
Lewis looking to tick it down to the quarter buzzer. Getting all the way to the rim. He's able to get it in, but he's left Plymouth with some time here. Dusha creates room, falling off balance. Wasn't too far away from Elvisi Dusha. Great start and a good finish for the Plymouth City Patriots to the opening quarter. Manchester in the middle made something of a comeback. We're at the end of one, 24-16. We'll be back after this break.
You put the work in, everyone knows you deserve it. There must be blind like curtains, certain anything you got, you've earned it. Sky's the limit, you're so high, it's achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable. Every time they wanna clash, I am unbeatable. Chances running out of start, and we're running out of clock. I fail once they start, I am unbeatable, I am unbeatable. Clock's turn, watch and learn. How many years been working for my don't stop flying over. Stay on your feet, never been put on a poster. You're a step like roller coaster. This one right here for the coaster.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places that never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when a ball drops. My man.
We are basketball.
Team is everything.
We fight till the final moment.
Slow in the corner for the win. Can you believe it?
These are new beginnings. Time to raise the standard.
Be better than the best.
McKenzie. Oh, beautiful.
10 teams, 1 goal.
Become the champion.
You know, and it's playoff champions. Let's see this in 2 decades.
We are basketball.
We are basketball.
We are basketball.
We are British basketball.
Welcome back to the Plymouth Pavilions, where the Patriots have got off to a good start here in their home opener in the British Basketball League. Here's Dangakoda looking for room. Shot clock down to 7, and Dangakoda flips it up, almost got that to go. Slap down from Lewis is called.
Well, nice aggressive move there from Dangakoda, and you see that step gathered so much momentum towards the rim. Defense had to foul. Big first step there and swipe down from Nick Lewis, who's had a really good game so far. I think since his introduction into the game, he's done some good things and helped his team rally.
Well, he's still having a discussion about that foul, but the reality is the ball was on the opposite side of the body, so any swipe down like that is almost certainly going to be called a foul. Jules Dangakoda stretches the Plymouth City Patriots lead back into double figures. Around the screen, picks it up in an awkward spot, gets it to Robertin. Kicked out to McNeil. Ball fizzing round, and Borsier finds a lane to the basket.
Really good basketball from Giants. No one forced it. Gave up good shots for great one, and Borsier there. Nice left drive to the finish.
Oh, that pass doesn't have enough on it, stolen away. Drop back to Anderson, who almost finished that. Hawk gets called for a swipe, and Jamel Anderson will go to the line.
Wow, Borsier again leading the charge, and Jamal Anderson, like he'll do every play, running the floor. And the play before their anticipation, hands in the passing lane, and again, giving up a good shot for himself or a better one for his 6'8" forward, charging towards the rim.
Well, both teams, both coaches, I'm sure will be, when we get to the halftime break, talking about turnovers, because there's no such thing as a good turnover, but we've seen a lot of really bad ones here today, both ends of the floor, where they've led to easy transition.
Oh, we've seen 14 turnovers combined just in the first quarter alone. That's a lot of wasted possessions from both clubs.
That's a tough three over the outstretched arm of the defender. Here's Borsier pushing quick. Lewis puts it on the floor, drops it off. Burton hammers it down.
Wow, good penetration from both guards there, and it's Nick Lewis this time that feeds a 7'1" center.
Oh, nice kick to the corner. Joe Hart on the near side this time, unable to convert, but an offensive rebound, 2 of them in fact for the Patriots, and they'll get another go at it. Hart sets his feet again. That one had the line, but not the distance.
Oh, didn't convert, but great energy there from the Patriots, crashing the boards.
Not great transition defense. Nobody stopped the ball.
Wow, Borsier, it's a good move. Out-injured the first game. This is only his second game as a pro for Giants, and he's able to find a way all the way to the rim. A 2-point game.
Well, Nick Lewis has got the shrug on again because a foul's been called against him. With a push on the rebound, that's his second personal. So as the shot goes up, just keep your eyes on Lewis. They're just, wow, it's not
a lot in there,
it's not a lot of a foul. It's probably just about enough, but on the softer end of the scale. Shot clock being counted down by the home fans. Faulkner fires up the 3 off the back of the rim. Oh, well, McNeil could have let that one go out of bounds, but he kept it alive. And Manchester with a chance to level this game up, having trailed by as many as 11.
Coach Paul James feeling the need to put Faulkner back in the game on 2 fouls. I'm sure all those close to 500 wins he's had a couple gambles over the years.
Yeah, he has. He's, to be fair, PJ's always been one of those guys that he will expect a player to be able to play in that position. Here's Johnson, kicks it out to his namesake, but DeAndre Johnson can't convert. Taylor Johnson will take the 3, rims out. Killing them on the glass here. That was already out of bounds on the rebound from Atwood in the first place, but they've been so active on the offensive glass. They've actually now got more offensive rebounds than the Giants have defensive rebounds.
Oh, you love Atwood's energy. Just desire. Defenders blocking him out, but still can't stop him on the boards.
Well, that last one given as a defensive rebound rather than a turnover, so they're level on defensive rebounds and offensive rebounds, but you never want to be level in that stat. Here's Lewis for 3, a little short from him, and here's Manchester's turn on the offensive glass with Anderson.
Well, Anderson will get credit for the offensive rebound and putback, but you can't help but feel that Legend Robertin is taking up a lot of space and attention in there.
He certainly attracted the Plymouth players. Well, another not great shot, to be honest with you, there by Johnson. Lewis running the floor. Manchester with a chance to take the lead. They've not been in front yet today.
Plymouth really relying on that 3-point shot, 2 for 14 at the moment, so it's not exactly flowing on all cylinders.
Oh, no room for Stampley there, crowded out of it. Taylor Johnson just goes right down the key for the finger roll.
Goodness me, it's like the defense didn't turn around. And credit to Johnson, who recognized that and attacked straight to the rim.
Well, Burton, did he walk with that? He never quite had control of the ball, and it is a travelling violation that is called.
I don't know.
It's one of them, because he never had control of the ball. Can you travel with it without control of the ball? But it certainly didn't look legal, that's for sure.
The pick and roll here. Boucher, nice little bounce pass inside. And as you say, Dan, I don't know if that's a travel. I don't think it is.
It doesn't look legal, though. I agree with you, but it didn't quite look legal. I'm not sure how it was illegal, but it didn't look legal.
Ah, you're agreeing with me? You feeling okay today?
Not quite, not quite.
It's usually a reference to 4.56, the rule book.
That's going to be a foul, bodies everywhere. Lawton, I think, is going to get called for it. It is his second personal foul. Well, look at the difference in the... Both made 11, but Plymouth have needed 10 more shots to do that. Now, part of that is their offensive rebound, and part of that is these three-point shots that they keep putting up, but they are getting the rebounds. I guess that's the upside. But at some point, they need to start knocking the shots down, and Manchester need to get a defensive rebound.
Goodness me.
Is that? Yeah, no, Anderson tipped it away. Didn't know whether it came off Atwood into the backcourt, but it hadn't. And that was lined up by Lawton. He was looking to spike that one. He only got a little finger on it, but it's enough to get Manchester the ball back.
Well, Lawton has been excellent at that. Whether he's blocked shots or not, he's contested, he's changed shots, and he's someone who's hired for his defensive presence.
28-26 the score. We're going to take a short break.
Everyone knows you deserve it. They must be blind like curtains, certain. Anything you got, you've earned it. Sky the limit, you're so high, it's achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable. Every time they wanna clash, I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stop, and we're running out of clock. My plan was gonna stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. Clock's turn, watch you learn. How many years been working for my stay on your feet, never been put on a poster. You're a step like roller coaster. This one right here for the culture. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Welcome back to the Plymouth Pavilions. A tight game here. Paul James, 1,100 games under his belt, helping the referees along the way there as well. I understand there's one or two issues with inadvertent adverts on YouTube. We are working on that. Apologies for the disruption. Here's Anderson. That's a hook. The old chicken wing from Jamel Anderson, reaching around, call for the foul.
Yeah, good defensive set there from Plymouth City Patriots out of that timeout. Manchester Giants were a bit stagnant there on that offense, trying to, oh, that's as obvious as they come.
(28-26), the Patriots lead. They have been ahead by as many as 11, but Manchester slowly dragging them back in part because of Plymouth's errant three-point shooting. But oh my, what a block that is! And Walsh is down court, off defense to offense in the blink of an eye.
And it's Lawton again with a shot block. And Evan Walsh, and literally seconds later, he's down the other end of the floor, laying the ball up. Big play there for the Giants.
Oh, he just came from nowhere there, Lawton, to swipe that one away. Taylor Johnson shot under his short. Here's Walsh out on the three-point line. Harris. Shot clock ticking down to 6 here. Walsh glances up at it. They haven't got time to work here. It's got to go up. Lawton gets it away just in time. And it was almost like Plymouth stopped. I think they thought the shot clock horn meant they'd stopped and they didn't get the rebound. Well, that's a really bad mistake by Plymouth.
Well, we've seen both teams do it, haven't we? We saw Giants ball watch, and you've got to seize the opportunity. And Lawton there coming across, beautifully timed.
That's an incredible block, even better from that angle.
6'9". He was one of the last signings for the Giants, and Coach Simeone credited him for his high energy and his ability to stretch the floor from the perimeter, but also to protect the paint. And he's certainly doing that today.
Well, they are missing one of the great shot blockers from last season, the man who led the league in block shots, William Lee. They get him back healthy, and those two guys on the court, you wouldn't be wanting to take it into the key in Manchester, would you?
No, you wouldn't. And don't forget that 7'1" center there as well, ready to relieve one of the other two centers. No, you're right. That could be some hard points to come by in the Manchester Giants paint this season.
Well, Giants into the lead. And, well, there was nobody blocking any shots there. Free pass to the basket for Wiley.
Jacob Wiley there, finding the gap and exploiting it. And that's what the Plymouth City Patriots need to do. They've shot way too many three-pointers today.
Alley-oop, oh, just a little bit too high, but Walsh is able to come up with the rebound, and they're trying to convince the referee that that is a Manchester ball. That Plymouth ball, sorry.
Oh, referee Ian Spearman having none of it.
Well, the referees in the end decided they weren't sure whose possession it was, so went for the old jump ball with no jump, and the possession arrow going the way of Manchester. Anderson, not quite. I think with the hesitation that becomes a more difficult shot. Walsh up close, almost forcing the turnover, and a slip there, and Walsh is able to come away with it, and he loses the ball. It's like a bar of soap. It's turned over again.
What is
it's
going
comedy
on?
of errors.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well, when we're looking for the bloopers at the end of the season, I think we could just let that one run.
Well,
goodness me.
Is it pantomime season already at the Pavilions? They're certainly booing. And defensively, he's behind you. Off the mark. Anderson with the rebound.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. The sequence.
Still recovering from that. And meanwhile, Harris is able to get to the basket for a lay-in.
Well, Jalen Harris, he's went about his business. 5 points personal now for him. Perfect from the floor.
Well, timeout call by Paul James. Let's see what. So Walsh just loses it. Faulkner kind of gets tripped and loses it. and then Manchester are able to get a score out of it, but just you can see Walsh in the background there. I think he's like, the ball needs wiping, or he's trying to go, it wasn't my fault. Something's a little slippy in there. But, well, I said earlier that the coaches will be talking about turnovers. I think that will be the one thing. The other thing, as we're looking at 20 turnovers in the first half, we're not even at halftime. There's way too many from both perspectives, but neither team actually shooting the 3 ball very well either. Plymouth have taken a ton. They're 2 of 16. Manchester 0 for 4. 2 of 20 between them. Somebody's got to start knocking down some threes.
Well, the most intelligent thing Giants have done is only shot 4 3-pointers. I mean, the volume shots from the Plymouth City Patriots at the moment, I just look baffled, just because they've got players on their team, Wiley, Faulkner, Atwood, players that can attack the rim and who are very good at it as well. I don't understand at the moment why the Plymouth City Patriots are relying so heavily on the 3-point line, because at this moment in time it's not working. And look, okay, there could be a switch here, law of averages, start making shots, but you don't really want to be playing that game. It's a dangerous game.
I suppose the flip side of that is Manchester are shooting 53% and Plymouth 32% from the floor, and they're only up 3. So at some point you go, well, actually, we're not doing too badly, but you're right, they do need to find somewhere. He needs to go up here. It doesn't hit the rim. I think that, the shot clock went off. I think that the referee said fine. Referee said it hit the rim and gave a thumbs up to the table.
And that's been the saving grace for the Plymouth City Patriots, the energy on the glass to be able to create second, third chance opportunities there on that occasion and convert.
Walsh steps back the other way, can't convert. 12 offensive rebounds. That's the 7th now for Manchester, but ends up as a Plymouth ball from the end line all the same.
That's good play there from Faulkner, because that looked like a offensive rebound and put back from Lawton. Faulkner doing enough just to put him off.
Well, Manchester going to call a quick timeout here to draw up a play. But yeah, you got a little rip of the ball away there.
And you've got to be on the money when you're on 2 fouls as well. You have to be certain and you have to be accurate. And he was both of those.
Well, we would be killing him, and PJ would be killing him if he gets a 3rd foul 35 seconds from halftime, having come back in and played a large chunk of this second quarter on 2 fouls. He's so important to what they do. We've seen that already tonight. We saw how he hit the ground running at Leicester last week. But Plymouth find themselves a point behind here. You really get the sense that if one of these teams can string together what we've seen glimpses of Manchester, we've seen glimpses of Plymouth at their best here today, but it's not been for a long enough stretch for either team, and whichever one can hold that together for longer could get themselves a sizable lead.
No, and what I would say, credit to both clubs have struggled visually on court, and they haven't folded. They've each had their mini runs, and they've been able to withstand pressure from either side.
Oh, there's no room in the key there with the ball bobbling about. Again, nobody can get their hands on it. Manchester have it, shot clock is off, so they can take the last one here. Well, we said Manchester haven't taken many threes, but there's one right on the half-time buzzer from Harris. And they needed that to give them a little boost going into the locker rooms.
It's a big shot there, Dan, coming off that screen. Jalen Harris, 8 points personal. He's 3 for 3 from the floor. He has went about his business quietly but effectively.
Well, Plymouth came out to a blistering start, led by as many as 11, were forcing all sorts of turnovers, getting to the rim, but Manchester it is who go into the locker rooms with the lead at the half. We will be back with more after this break.
knows you deserve it. They must be blind like curtains, certain. Anything you got, you've earned it. Sky's the limit, you're so high, it's achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable, I'm unbeatable. Every time they wanna clash, I am unbeatable. Chances running out, stop. And we're running out the clock. I feel what's gonna stop. I am unbeatable, I am unbeatable. Clock's turn, watch and learn. How many years been working for my stay on your feet, never been put on a poster. You're a step like roller coaster. This one right here for the culture.
Let's take the stage